Well, fast times in Bolivia high, I guess, but it seems like maybe the shamans were getting a little more than a natural kerfuffle. As they say, maybe it's God or maybe you're high. Earliest evidence of ayahuasca use discovered in ancient shamanic pouch in Bolivia. Well, I mean, at least we know that someone did it before Joe Rogan. A 1,000-year-old patch made from 3 fox snouts. I have a couple of questions here. Now, first of all, you had a pelt. You coulda made like a thingamabob or gourds or some but snouts, okay. That's now terrifying. I couldn't figure out what I was looking at, but apparently 3 fox snouts. Well, let's continue with this article. This wasn't a massive mistake. Sewn together was discovered in Bolivia to contain some tantalizing surprises. According to National Geographic, the pouch held the world's earliest evidence of ayahuasca among a plethora of other mind altering substances and drug paraphernalia. Well, apparently, you had to get the mind right in order to hear the gods. For the uninitiated, ayahuasca is a hallucinogenic beverage composed of two plants. One is an enzyme inhibitor, which allows psychoactive effects to be produced or to be processed by the liver. And in its smoky variety, DMT has significantly crept into pop culture recent years. Again, Joe Rogan. Scientists believe that the archaeological find may be likely belonged to a shaman. Ayahuasca was consumed by South America's indigenous people for millennia. Penn State University anthropologist Jose Capreles originally found the pouch in 2010, but his detailed finding was published in the PNAS journal just this week. Probably because he was like, how am I going to write three fox snouts sewn together and make anyone look? I know it was the past and they didn't have Tupperware, but RSVP me no to the, ancient Tupperware party if snouts are involved. Now, Capreles found the pouch in Cueva de Chileno, a rock shelter containing evidence of human inhabitation from at least 4,000 years ago. Now, the shelter is believed to have been a tomb that was later looted, and even the bodies were taken. Why you gotta raid tombs? Like, I know Indiana Jones might have questionable, morals with, like, taking stuff from stuff. That being said, why would you take the bodies? I mean, I can see taking the stuff, but the bodies too? Like, ick. That being said, it's the past was the worst, as, what's his face says from Biographics. Evidently, however, the thieves left behind a plethora of goods they mistakenly thought were, trash or detritus. Among these discarded items were beads, braid of human hair, in a leather bag containing the pouch, a headband, and small spatulas made from llama bones, a carved tube, and various wooden platforms used to inhale substances. Man, this man's like, leave my bong in my tube. Ladies and gentlemen, the first Joe Rogan. Now, radiocarbon dating of the leather bag showed it was used sometime between 900 and 1170 AD. While Caprelis and his colleagues have yet to identify exactly what the dried plant remnants therein actually are, they did test the chemical signature of the bag's interior against a variety of plants and found the bag once contained DMT, bufotine, cocaine, um, and BZE, harmonine, possibly cyclin, which is or psilocybin, which is a component of magic mushrooms. On top of being potentially being the earliest recorded archaeological evidence of ayahuasca preparation, the discovery has shed light on other aspects of the region as well. Whoever owned the pouch, for instance, was likely an active traveler or part of a prolific trade network in the area. Harmine is mostly easily found in the yage plant, which is found hundreds of miles away from Hueva de Chileno, where more tropical plants of the northern South America. Caprelis and his team believe that the DMT remnants likely came from the Sharuna plant, the closest of which are in the Amazonian lowlands. This person was moving very large distances or had access to people who were. However, there is no scientific evidence to indicate that the shaman actually brewed or used the drug from what was found in this bag. Dennis McKenna, an ethnopharmacologist and brother of psychonaut icon. Wait, what's a psychonaut? Do what now? Oh, maybe he's really into the shroomies. I Ethnopharmacologist sounds a lot like when I say street pharmacist. So I don't know if the vocabulary, the terminology is the same, but seems like these two may know a lot about, I don't know, black lights, lava lamps, and feeling groovy, if you get what I'm Cheech and Chong levels. Possibly Willie Nelson. I mean, look, says that so he, these two experts in phonology, said that modern ayahuasca preparation are idiosyncratic and that every shaman has his own brew. So apparently, it depends what kind of experience you're going to have with what kind of brewing you're going to have. Now, Cabrales is largely convinced that it wasn't left in Hueva de Cholino by mistake. We believe that it was left intentionally. This typically is behavior that you see in ritually charged places. Now, similar to psychedelic mushrooms, ayahuasca has made a resurgence in recreational, not street legal pharmaceutical sort of things for its potential, human health benefits. Now, these range from addiction therapy to mental health, as well as processing grief or combating various mood disorders. For Caprelis and McKenna, ayahuasca's ancient use was likely rooted in spiritual and physical work as opposed to recreation. Caprelis said that this discovery could be taken advantage of to boost ayahuasca tourism in the region, but that it's really more sacred to them. It's not, hey, let's get, all functified. It's, we are communing with ancestors. These people weren't tripping because of entertainment, he said. McKenna thoroughly agreed that ayahuasca use has changed in the modern world, but maybe not for the worst. Yeah, a guy who sells, you know, hippie trips is like, no, it's okay now. I mean, look, we're spiritual-ish. It's used very differently these days, but not necessarily in a worse way, but a different way, he said. When he uses substances allegedly in Minecraft, he's generally astonished by that experience, should he have had it in Minecraft or not. Now, YouTube gods, I am not telling you to go become Joe Rogan, but I thought it was interesting that, well, first of all, you could make a pouch out of three, fox snouts, but if they were high off their balls, I mean, that might be something you might could do, okay? That being said, RSVP me no for ancient Aztec Tupperware. I know it's sacred, y'all. I'm not disrespecting it. I just don't need one in my house. Now, if you ever find Tupperware that has a magnetic or force field that puts its lid right back on it, you RSVP me yes to that party. Bye. Anyway, you guys, I almost forgot my outro. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, but have a sassy mouth and carry a can of bitch fire because kindness doesn't equal doormat anymore.